Good morning and welcome to Dear Administrator at Bayshore Guest Home and Gardens. We're honored today to have again Wade Botkin, our therapist extraordinaire, who helps us with a multitude of issues. One of the issues I wanted to address today, Wade, is the senior generation that is now coming into our facility is the generation who, in many cases, has given us the most.
Okay.
And has sacrificed a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
They are also very stoic as part of that cycle of growing up in the Depression and the wars.
Okay.
So it's very difficult, especially for the men, to realize that they are depressed. That somehow the symptoms of anger and passive aggressiveness stem from depression.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way of helping them understand that an antidepressant might be helpful?
Well, sometimes things can be, can be as simple as just encouraging somebody to try, a medication, to not make too, big of a deal of it.
Right.
And just say, why don't we try this and see, how you feel, if it's not working, we can not try it. One thing that can also help, another thing can help, talk about symptoms of depression.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people, they begin to realize, hey, maybe I am depressed. Here are the symptoms. I'm showing, certain symptoms of depression. And education, can help.
What about an underlying chronic depression? Is that more difficult to spot?
Well, not necessarily more difficult to spot. It might be more difficult to do something about.
Okay, to treat.
Right. In research, therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, tends to be just as effective as medication. But if a person is declining in their cognitive ability, then that may not be as much of an option. Medication might be a better option for that
Okay.
person.
And on the other end of the spectrum, there's also a lot of seniors that are now being addicted to benzoids, Xanax, Ativan, that kind of thing. Sometimes they're put on pain pills for certain reasons or certain surgeries, and then they feel that they need those pain pills.
Mm-hmm.
What do you find that it is becoming more prevalent, the addiction in the seniors now?
Well, actually, addiction to pain medication is one of the top addictions for all age groups. It's growing rapidly, and one reason pain pills can be so addictive is that they not only numb the physical pain, but they also numb the emotional pain. They work in a way very similar to the way alcohol works, and we all know, how addictive alcohol can be and what, path that can lead people into with alcohol. So pain medication anesthetizes the brain. What that means is, puts the brain to sleep in stages, and it can dampen down, worries, just like alcohol can. It can dampen down, emotions we're having, experiencing. So the addictive nature of pain medication is that it mutes our experience of life, and if we're having a bad experience of life, then we're going to look for something to continue to mute, continue to dampen down all those feelings and intensity. So plus it's medication, so people think somehow like it's safer, it's maybe it's not
My
as,
doctor gave it to me.
right, and maybe it's not as dangerous as alcohol. Maybe it's not as dangerous as some street drug, but pain medication can be lethal easily. It's a very you're taking a very small amount of something that once it's in your bloodstream, there's no pumping your stomach. There's no way to get it out. So that's why you hear about more people dying from overdosing on pain medication, because it's easier to overdose on. And once the brain is put to sleep in stages all the way to the brain stem, which regulates heart and lung functioning, that's why you have instant death.
Yes, and I think sometimes they don't really relate to the fact that it is a benzoid. They think, oh, the doctor gave me this to calm me down.
Mm-hmm.
But their habit is to have happy hour before dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So they have benzoid, then they have the drink, and then they become a risk fall.
Right. Medications like that plus alcohol, that's a really strong combination.
What are some other
It's
ways for seniors that are healthy of releasing some of the stress, especially if they are the caregiving spouse, such as yoga, tai chi, painting? What sort of things do you recommend?
I would actually recommend any of those to a person who has the physical capability to explore those areas. And you know, the nice thing about everything you just mentioned, all those things can be modified based on the physical capabilities of the person. So even, you know, small amounts of stretching, small movements of Tai Chi, the mind and the body are not different things. They're the same thing. And so, you know, you stretch the body, you stretch the mind. You relax the body, you relax the mind. Medication is good for crisis situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for short-term situations.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you know, we all need to learn, you know, coping skills to cope with life and not just numb out our experience of life. We want to have a full life. So everything you just mentioned can be part of that life. If there's a form of exercise they've done in the past that they can do now, even walking, you know, getting out and about, socializing, playing cards, things that can be also distractions can be, you know, a way to work with emotions. You know, we don't have to always work with emotions directly. We can also distract ourselves with some fun, some games, some entertainment to move away from those painful feelings. But building life skills and, you know, helping a person find, you know, their interests, the life skills that they could be interested in, that can give them new levels of coping. You know, we can learn through, you know, all ages. There's no, you know, cutoff where, you know, we stop learning as long as cognitively we're okay.
Thank you so much, Wade, very much. Your advice is invaluable, and we're looking forward to reading your book. When will your book be coming out?
Well, we'll have to see.
Is that a teaser?
Yes.
Okay, we will ask him every time we interview him. On behalf of dear Administrator, Bayshore Guest Home and Gardens, and Wade Botkin, thank you and have a wonderful day.